Well, hello. I'm John Conley, State Affairs Director for the Alzheimer's Association for the state of Florida. Thanks for joining me for what is our first edition of Conley at the Capitol for 2021, where we take a look at the happenings and goings-on at our state capitol here in Florida. As you can tell, I'm not in the state capitol today. Inclement weather outside here in Tallahassee and restrictions due to COVID-19 won't allow me into the Capitol building for filming of this video. So we're here at our now familiar Alzheimer's State Affairs Special Operations Center, aka John's home office. As most of you have probably heard by now, things are very different here in Tallahassee as they do look elsewhere in the state as a result of COVID-19. While the limited access to members of the legislature that organizations like ours are facing might slow or pause progress for some, your public policy team has embraced these challenges and is moving forward full force. As we finish the third week of interim committee meetings here in Tallahassee, the association has two substantive proposals that have been filed and are postured to be heard in the coming weeks. Senate Bill 634, sponsored by Senators Audrey Gibson and Senator Dennis Baxley, and House Bill 309, sponsored by Representative Cord Byrd, seek to enhance the existing training for staff in Florida's long-term care communities, including assisted living facilities, home health agencies, nursing homes, adult daycare, and hospice facilities. Currently, the regulations governing these communities and Alzheimer's training for staff are spread out over 5 different statutes. These bills would consolidate those 5 into one and focus on the staff, especially new hires, as well as continuing education to ensure care workers in these communities have the latest information and techniques for recognizing and managing the disease. Senate Bill 634, sponsored by Senator Jason Broder, and House Bill 627, sponsored by Representative Michelle Salzman, are another pair of bills we are proposing for 2021. These bills emphasize the critical need to distribute Alzheimer's information to healthcare providers and seeks to do so through existing public health and community outreach programs at the Department of Health. Information that relates to brain health, early detection and diagnosis for Alzheimer's disease and other dementias would be distributed to medical professionals through the Department of Health and developed in partnership with the Department of Elder Affairs and the Alzheimer's Association. While both of these sets of bills have been referred to committee for hearing, we continue to work to get them on the agendas over the next couple of weeks. We will bring you more of these bills in future updates. The first few weeks of interim committee meetings here in Tallahassee have been busy ones. In the healthcare committees, we've been monitoring discussions on the ongoing COVID vaccine process and the state's overall response to the pandemic, as well as hearing discussions on mental health and facility liability. We also saw the state agencies and the governor present their annual legislative budget request, or LBRs. While the state's overall financial outlook is still questionable, the governor's budget painted a rather different picture than we'd been expecting. His $96 billion state budget for the fiscal year 2021-22 showed an increase of more than $4.3 billion compared to last year's budget. While the governor's budget proposal does exceed the current fiscal year's budget, it does include reductions of more than $1 billion over the current year. Most of those reductions come from savings in our state trust funds and a reduction of almost 170 positions across state government. While the governor's budget did not include any funding for projects such as the association's brain bus in the initial request, that is not unusual and is something we plan for each year. We will get more into the budget process in future editions of Conley at the Capitol, but ultimately the governor's budget recommendations are just that, a suggested starting point for the legislature to build their own budget and include issues that are important to them. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention and thank Senator Audrey Gibson and Representative Michael Caruso for sponsoring our brain bus appropriations request for this year. We will be actively working to continue the brain bus funding for next year, as well as focused on ensuring the state continues its investment into Alzheimer's research and respite services through the Alzheimer's Disease Initiative and community care for the elderly. The 2021 legislative session officially starts on March 2nd, and we are excited to be holding our annual Advocacy Week, Rally and Tally, the following week, March 8th through the 11th. While Rally will look a little different this year, and most of our meetings and events will be available virtually for the first time, we still hope you will join us and engage your legislators as part of the week's events. Well, I've taken enough of your time today. On behalf of the Alzheimer's Association and the Florida Public Policy Team, we are grateful for your continued support and engagement, and we look forward to what is to come during the 2021 legislative session. Thanks for watching. See you soon.